What's up, Barnhill family, and welcome back to the channel.
Yo.
So we've got veteran versus newcomer in the main event of UFC 275, and I got to be honest, I am super excited for this fight. I think styles make matchups, and I think the stylistic clash between Jiří Procházka and Glover Teixeira is going to make for an awesome night.
Yeah, and there's so many just complete differences between these two guys. Everything about them is different. You got the young, you've got the old. You've got the electric striker that everybody's hype about, and you've got the old dog that, just doesn't seem to go away. So there's a lot of just like
contrast.
Yeah, exactly. It makes for really interesting fights and setups and all of that stuff. I am really excited to see Glover defending his title, and he's obviously an older fella, and he's got a tough opponent in front of him. But I think experience is something that really is going to play into his hand, because Jiří only has a few fights in the UFC, like 4, or this might be
his fourth fight.
Yeah. And so he obviously, which maybe we'll have to do another video about this, his rise to the top might be one of the fastest we've ever seen, only behind like Brock Lesnar, and maybe it's faster than Conor McGregor's.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Faster than Hamzat. So Jiří is obviously somebody everybody's really hot on, and I think for obvious reasons. He's really talented, really explosive, really strong and quick for the division that he's in. He's going to have obviously some clear advantages in that regard against Glover, but Glover's got the experience, he's got the knowledge, he's got the old man strength, he's got all of that going on his side as well. So there's a pros and cons list for both of these guys, and I truly think the old dog might have something up his sleeves that Jiří hasn't seen before.
He definitely will. I mean, I think this is going to be by far Jiří's hardest fight ever. Glover Teixeira has been in the game for multiple decades at this point now. He does not go away. He's got a granite chin. He's almost impossible to finish, but he's got a nice balance of submission wins and TKO/knockout wins. He's a very difficult puzzle to crack, if you will, and he's good everywhere. And that's where Jiří might run into some problems here, because Jiří, we all know him as an electric striker, and we talk about how quickly he got to a title fight, but let's be honest, when you knock out Volkan Ozdemir and turn around and immediately knock out Dominic Reyes with a spinning elbow, where else can you go but a title fight from there? So he did amass 20+ wins in Rizin before he came over to the UFC. So he's a newcomer to the UFC, but I won't say he's a veteran yet, but he's on his way there as far as experience goes, and he just has some of the most lethal striking that the light heavyweight division has ever seen. I am going to pick Jiří to win this fight, and obviously I already did a video talking about breaking down the fight and my predictions, and at the end I did pick Jiří to win by technical knockout, and I'll tell you why I think that's going to happen. Glover Teixeira is going to have maybe even a power advantage over Jiří. Not a lot of people think that, but Jiří has a speed and volume advantage over Glover, and I think the sheer output that he's going to throw on Glover is going to overwhelm him, and because of the toughness of Teixeira, he's going to be able to get through a couple rounds. We may even see him take Jiří down a time or two, and I think those will be really telling, because if Jiří can get up quickly from those without exerting a lot of energy, I think my prediction is going to be spot on. If he does have to expend a lot of energy to get back to his feet, or Glover's able to win a round or two and hit him with some devastating ground and pound, my prediction might start to look a little shaky. But I think he's going to be able to handle any takedowns that may happen. And I think the sheer volume of strikes that he's going to throw, and then the shot selection and creativity of what he's actually going to throw at Glover, is going to confuse him, and it's ultimately going to lead to the ref stepping in and stopping the fight in the third round.
Yeah, I think Glover has some ways to win this fight, and you're right when you say he's got more power, especially in his hands. You're not going to see Glover spinning, do any spinning kicks or any sort of jumping kicks. He's really fundamental with the striking, and what he does is he closes the distance, hits you with some stuff that's pretty hard. That usually either will sit you down or have you, up against the ropes for a second, so to speak, and then that's when he can either get a nice takedown and then, crawl his way up the top, get to your back, and choke you out. And I don't think if he gets Jiří to the ground, Yuri's going to be able to just get up. I think it's going to be pretty difficult for him. And my thought is that Glover's probably going to be able to get this fight to the ground. And part of the reason is I think he's going to look for those kicks. And just like everybody's assuming Yuri's going to win this fight with the kicks, and I think there's a good case for that. I think you be careful what you do when you start kicking too much against a guy that really knows what he's doing. He'll eat one of those body kicks and carry it and put you on the ground with it. So while he might be limping and might have a broken rib at the end of the night, if he catches a good kick and he's able to put Jiří on the ground and get on top of him, that could seal the fight. And I don't know if Jiří's, just how good he is on the ground. I'm sure he's really talented, but we've seen Jan Blachowicz and we've seen a list of other UFC royalty essentially get finished via submission by Glover Teixeira. So it's really hard for me to see a fight where it goes to the ground and Glover doesn't get the finish. And I just think that Jiří's going to have to be very, very precise and crisp with his kicks. He's going to have to attack the head and the body with his hands and his feet and really mix it up to have Glover guessing. My thoughts on Jiří winning is if he can get Glover guessing where he's going and blocking the body, blocking the head, and then guess the wrong one at
zig when he's supposed to zag, so
exactly.
to speak.
Zig when he's supposed to zag and then gets kicked in the head. That could be how he finishes the fight. But if he doesn't mix it up well enough, or if he gets a little bit hesitant because Glover's showing that he can get the fight to the ground off one of those kicks, then I think he's in trouble. So I'm going Glover. I'm going by submission, and I'm going I'm going to say round 3 as well, but I'm going to go with submission for Glover.
Interesting. And the Glover's takedowns, he's very fundamental with the singles and the doubles. I mean, everything that Glover does, he has a mastery of the basics. You talk about some of the jiu-jitsu greats, Roger Gracie, people like that. They won with stuff that you learn the first day in class. And you talk about the contrast at the beginning of this video. There couldn't be any more contrast than that. Jiří's doing black belt level, so to speak, striking, and he's doing things that are very dynamic. Glover's doing things that are very fundamental. He's got a jab, a cross, a hook. He's got beautiful single legs. He's got beautiful double legs. I will just say, though, when you shoot a single or shoot a double on Jiří, you better not telegraph it one bit or there'll be a knee or uppercut coming up the middle. So look for that, and I think that'll tell a lot as Glover is shooting for a takedown, which I think it's very inevitable that he's going to. How does Jiří handle it? Can he hurt him with strikes on the entry? And I think that's going to tell a lot as well.
Yeah, one final question for this one. Does Glover retire if he loses, or does he retire if he wins? What's the word?
I don't know what more Glover could do, but he did say, and the only information I'm armed with is that he told Jan Blachowicz that he would give him his rematch after he defeats Jiří. So I guess he wants to fight Jan again. Maybe he doesn't have that all out of his system. He wants to emphatically beat the guy that he took the belt from. Who knows? If Glover Teixeira wants to fight till he's 50, as long as he's beating people and, looking great in the process, who am I to tell him to retire?
Yep, as of today, he's still the best in the world, so let's see what happens.
That's right. Guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Nick and I are split on this one, so you know the drill. Tell us who's right in the comments, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and drop a like on this video. See you in the next one.
Peace.